Welcome to LOQation, Cabrini College's weekly news program. I'm Parisa.
And I'm Ricardo Shepherd, and here's your news now.
A man is wanted in the state of Pennsylvania for the shooting death of a state trooper and injuring another officer. 31-year-old Eric Matthew Freen is considered armed and dangerous and is currently hiding out in the woods in the Poconos. The FBI is offering a $100,000 reward for information leading directly to Freen's arrest. Merritt Dudas, a Montgomery County man, admitted to the murder of his close friend. The two had grown up next door to each other in Malvern. After the judge accepted his plea, Dudas was unable to explain what motive he had for the murder. Hannah Graham, an 18-year-old University of Virginia sophomore, had been missing for the past 10 days. 32-year-old Jesse Matthew was the last known person to be seen with Graham in the early hours of September 13th, the night she went missing. Matthew was wanted for 2 counts of reckless driving and voluntarily went to the police station to ask for a lawyer after officers took forensic evidence from his car and from his apartment. With the recent disappearance of Graham and other college undergrads, Cabrini students should be extremely cautious of their surroundings when they are either out alone or with others. Cabrini College's LOQation news crew took a trip into Radnor Township this past Sunday to cover the 22nd annual Radnor Fall Fest. Let's take a look at the fun-filled event and what the festival means to the people of the community.
On Sunday, September 21st, the town of Radnor came together to celebrate the Radnor Fall Festival.
I think Radnor Day is great because all these companies and schools can come out and they can just kind of show what they are, what they have to do. Like we're out here, we're selling gold cards to pay for our stuff, for our equipment. So, I think it's a great way for all the businesses to gain some popularity.
I think it's wonderful with all the offerings up and down the street, and there's a lot of kids performing, so that's great. They've got their families out here to watch and other people, and it gives us a great, chance to show people what we have. So we're enjoying it, and the kids love to taste the olive oils too. They're great. Kids love it because they love the balsamics.
Yeah, everyone out here, we're all in the community together, so we all know each other. Like Jimmy John's, directly across from our high school, everyone goes there after the end of the day to get some food. A bunch of these places we all know. And it's a great way for people to get publicity and make some money for their causes. Like he said, we're making it for our jerseys, our rallies, and other stuff we do with the team.
Radnor Fall Festival to me is a time where we can all gather as a community and celebrate while people can advertise their stands and businesses.
This is our second one. We did it last fall. That was our first. We'd been open like 4 months when we did it last fall. So this is our second one. It's even better this year. I think they've got a great turnout. Valley Forge has been a great help. There's a lot of the kids here, and they helped us set up our tent. That was wonderful. Trust me, I could not get that tent up by myself. I knew they would be here, though, so that was great.
What Radnor Fall Fest means to me is a time where we all get to meet each other, try new things, and gather as a community.
And that was your trip around the block. Let's check in with Howard Blake to see what's new in sports. So Howard, what's going on with this big Eagles game everyone was discussing this past weekend?
Well, the Birds actually won this past Sunday and are currently sitting atop the NFC East, so I'll have more news on them for you today.
Okay, so what's going on with Cabrini Sports?
Well, a lot of the sports teams are heading into CSAC play, so I'll be updating you on that as well. So let's take a look, guys. The Eagles are sitting at 3-0 after defeating the Redskins last Sunday. After denying Deshaun Jackson a win in his return to the Link, the Eagles find themselves at 3-0 for the first time since 2004, the year they made it to the Super Bowl. It's too early to talk about title contention, but it's always fun to entertain the thought. But as for the latest on campus, the women's soccer team played Cedar Crest College in their first CSAC matchup. It was pretty easy for the Lady Cavs. They defeated Cedar Crest 6-0. 5 different Cavaliers scored goals, but it was junior Devin Miller leading the way with 2 goals of her own. Best of luck to the blue and white as they continue their CSAC matchups for the season. Volleyball is also heading into their stretch of CSAC matches, but they recently took down Moravian College 3-1. Senior Amy Garino recorded 19 kills, and her sister, sophomore Kelly Garino, had 30 digs. And we can't forget about junior Cassidy Koning for recording 52 assists on the night. The Cavs see their next action against Gwynedd Mercy University on September 27th. But we can't forget about men's soccer. They defeated Delaware Valley College 1-0. Christian Martin assisted Kyle Chevalier for the game's only goal. The Cavs sit at 4-4 on the season and look to focus themselves heading into conference play. And in other news, the first annual Abbey Fest took place this past Saturday with a day full of music and events. It focused on the activity of youth in today's Catholic community, and we got an inside look at the festivities.
How's it going, Philadelphia? Abbey Faith and Music Fest is a ministry of St. Norbert Parish in Paoli, and also Dalesford Abbey, which is a community of priests and brothers in Paoli as well. And we were inspired to do the Abbey Fest, to do a day to bring people of faith together, young and old, to celebrate the best of our faith, especially expressed through music, and having some incredible bands for the day. I kind of call it like a Catholic Woodstock.
My favorite thing so far has been Greg and Lizzie, for sure. They are so energetic and so alive on stage, and what they sing about is so much more than anything you hear anywhere else, because it's focused on love and it's so personal to them. You know that it's something that's written about each other. And at one point, Greg looked over at Lizzie and said, "I love you," and just mouthed it to her in the middle of the song, and it was so cute. But you know that they believe what they're singing about, and it really comes right from their hearts.
And one of the things I think we've gotten an opportunity to play on like a lot of college campuses and stuff, and that is where we love to be, because like, students are in a place in their life where they are searching for their vocation. That is why they're in school, you know, and so to be able to come onto a campus and just show a little bit of a witness of what the vocation of marriage is just an awesome gift, and that's something that we have seen a huge response to, especially in like college students and young adults and our peers.
So the Abbey Fest is really for all people, people of all ages, young and old, families, single people, college students, teenagers. We want to welcome everyone, but we still want to keep it always youthful. And so in the future, our desire is that we reach out to more and more young people, college students, young adults, high school students, and to get them motivated and excited and to come help the day and make it even better than it is already.
The youth participation in this event has been incredible. There are thousands of people here, and so many of them are youth, but also so many of them are youth volunteers. They're here changing water jugs, helping with security and parking, giving up an entire Saturday to be here and participate in this. But also it's so fun to see the youth dancing in front of the stage, or laughing and singing along with each other, or just spending time and throwing the frisbee way out on the back of the lawn. But the youth presence has been so strong, and I hope that it just continues to grow for the next years.
And that was this week's sports news. Let's send it over to Ricardo at the news desk.
If there is one lesson that soldiers are supposed to learn, it is that you will be held accountable for your actions. According to authorities in Massachusetts, 3 senior military Afghan National Army officers are being held in custody of Canadian Border Services. The soldiers were reported missing from base while on duty for their annual international training exercise. This is the second time in 1 week that Afghan personnel went missing during training. Despite the officers' disappearance, they may or may not be able to return to base for the duration of their training. With recent outbreaks of the enterovirus D68 sweeping the nation, another virus has resurfaced. Over 700 children have been exposed to the tuberculosis virus at a hospital in El Paso, Texas. Tuberculosis is a bacteria that can be fatal if not treated accordingly. Reports reveal that the virus was spread by one of the employees of the hospital who has tested positive for it. The hospital plans to test all infants who are currently there, all while moving forward with further investigation. A UN official reports that over 70,000 Syrian Kurds have streamed into Turkey when Turkey opens its borders earlier this week. 8 checkpoints were set up to host refugees while the fighting between Kurdish militia and ISIS forces continued. According to Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, ISIS had made advancements in Syria and has taken control of at least 60 villages in the past couple of days. Despite the past history between the Turkish government and Kurds, Turkey has sent allied forces over to Syria to assist in the battle and the fight for their freedom. Cabrini College's founding order of nuns, the Missionary Sisters of the Sacred Heart of Jesus, just got a new, larger place right next to campus. LOQation went to see their new home and hear why their legacy is so important to the college.
The Missionary Sisters of the Sacred Heart are now located right around the corner from Cabrini, in their own cottage right next to the President's house. Easy to get to by foot or by any means of travel, those affiliated with the Missionary Sisters welcome everyone with open arms.
Welcome to Cabrini Cottage, the offices of the Missionary Sisters of the Sacred Heart of Jesus, where you're always welcome and the cookie jar is always full. Come on inside. It's extraordinarily important for Cabrini students to know about Mother Cabrini because she was an inspirational figure. Of course, she's the namesake of the college. Her story is one that really can bring about great avenues of inspiration for our students. Her history is one that really is one of great adventure, of risk-taking, of doing with very little resources for a woman of her time to go on to found 67 institutions around the world.
Mother Cabrini was Italian by birth, born in a family that were considered to be peasants in those days, 1850, and the cultural background of the family, they were very devotional in the Catholic Church.
It's true that Mother Cabrini had a fear of the water, but that started when she was a little girl and she fell in a stream and somehow found herself on the bank of the stream, but she doesn't know how she got out of the water, but she almost drowned. And that was a very traumatic experience that left her with a fear of the ocean. Yet in spite of that fear, she crossed the ocean about 24 times between the United States and Italy and the United States, and then sometimes sailing even to South America and Central America. She traveled around wherever the mission was originally to the Italian immigrants, and that is why the Holy Father told her this is where she was to come and bring the sisters. I feel that we really need to instill in our curriculum a component as students begin their studies at Cabrini about the history. We have a wonderful location on campus in the Holy Spirit Library that's called the Cabrini Honor Room, where we have many of the artifacts of Frances Cabrini, her checks that she wrote. She's such a contemporary figure. Her dining utensils, a nightgown. It really brings about the actual person that she was. It's true that many students do not know the history about Mother Cabrini, and I think the problem there lies in the fact that as freshmen, they were not exposed to that.
The purpose is to spread the love of Christ everywhere. That Mother Cabrini had that foundation within her, and she felt called by God.
Thanks again for coming. On location, for location. Come again soon.
And those are this week's big issues. So Morgan, what's going on with Big Sean?
Well, you know, rumor is he has a new girlfriend.
So are Bruce and Kris Jenner still currently married?
Well, apparently the papers have been signed for their divorce. So, more entertainment news now. Although Big Sean recently suffered a loss of his fiancée, that has not kept him down for 1 second. He is back up on his feet with a new female, and guess who it is? Ariana Grande, of course. They were seen kissing at an after party after Grande performed Bang Bang with Nicki Minaj, according to E! News. They recently took a photo together of their silhouettes, and Ariana Grande captured a smiley face. We're watching you two lovebirds. On the other side of lovebirds, Kris Jenner from the Kardashians finally filed for divorce with Bruce Jenner. According to E! News, Kris's reason is for irreconcilable differences, but she requested that her and Bruce Jenner get joint custody of their only minor left, 17-year-old Kylie Jenner. Everyone knows that the Jenners have been separated for almost a year now. I think it was about time for the divorce anyway. What do you think? Tweet us to tell us what you think. In other entertainment news, we got a baby bump, and she's swinging on the pole? The Guardians of the Galaxy star, Zoe Saldana, posted a funny video with her husband, Marco Perego, in the airport pole dancing. While waiting for her flight, Miss Saldana decides to work that pole. But ask me what she's having? It's not what, but how many? Miss Saldana is having twins, and I'm super excited for her. Congratulations on your baby, Miss Saldana. Can't wait to see the newborn pictures. Cabrini dance team gets an upgrade. Due to their flawless Beyonce-inspired dance routine, they were listed number 6 by hercampus.com as the most Beyonce-like campus. Let's hear more about it.
We did the Beyonce routine in one practice. We had like a long weekend practice on Saturday. It's like 4 hours long, and we just took some time out, and like Christy, our captain, came up with a mix, and we just kind of incorporated different things together in order to make the mix.
Well, everyone on the team really loves Beyonce and has like a strong connection to her because of like the way she dances, and she's like a really big public figure right now. So I think that we try and incorporate at least one Beyonce song in every mix that we do. So I think that makes it more fun for us, and every time that she comes on in the studio, we all get really excited. Right now, we're working on stuff for, it used to be called Halloween Havoc. I think it might be called Hoops Havoc now. We're working on a choreography for that. That'll be towards the end of October. And then also the Eastern game. That's like a huge game, obviously, between Cabrini and Eastern men's basketball. So right now we're working on a big combination for that. I'm sure there'll be a Beyonce song in there.
A lot of time goes into our practices. I think we have a total of maybe like 6 hours a week that we practice. And sometimes we do weekend practices, but that doesn't include like our performances.
My coach emailed us or texted us all in this group message that we have, and we were all talking about how excited we were and how much we love Beyonce, and she sent us the link to the article, and we all clicked on it and read the entire article, and we got to number 6 and we found out that Cabrini was on there among all these other big colleges, so we were really excited about that.
That we can maintain our number 6 Beyonce title by doing more Beyonce mixes and trying to be like as flawless as we possibly can.
There was no like competition or like there was no reason for us to be on this list, and there were other schools that have done Beyonce dances and combinations to their songs, like Villanova in 2011 also did a dance team to Beyonce, but they're not on the list. So I'm not really sure how Cabrini was noticed, but we were really excited.
We're the Cabrini College dance team. Take it back to the news desk. Well, that was my time with your entertainment update. Now let's look into what's coming on next week on LOQation News. Let's send it over to Ted.
Next time on LOQation News.
We talk about Cabrini intramural sports.
And then coverage on the events at Cabrini's homecoming.
Followed by a discussion on off-campus living.
All this and more, only on LOQation News.
Thanks for catching up with us this week, Cabrini. For LOQation Weekly News, I'm Parisa Ghaffari.
And I'm Ricardo Shepard. Be sure to stay up to date with us on our social media by following us. Simply search LOQation News. Have a great week, Cabrini.